This review is all about the E-Class family of vehicles. We're here in Washington and Oregon getting a chance to drive the sedan, now with a 4-cylinder diesel engine, the station wagon, and kicking it off here with the convertible. Now the interesting thing is there's new technology at play in the E-Class. It's also in the S-Class. It's what's called semi-autonomous driving. Means that the car will not only speed up and slow down with the radar system, but it also has cameras to steer, which is quite amazing. We'll find out what it's all about. All E-Class models get a fresh new front end, including bigger air intakes. You'll notice the chrome wing chin spoiler and full adaptive LED headlamps. The grille features a large center star, which Mercedes owners tell the company they prefer over the hood-mounted design. Coupe and Cabriolet models come with standard AMG appearance package, 18-inch wheels, and in the Cabrio, 4 different roof colors. The most noticeable changes in the interior include moving the gear selector to the column, which opens up the center console for more storage and cup holders. Chrome is more prominent around the air vents, and the buttons now have a metallic look. What we have here on the beautiful Oregon coast is the car that's probably going to be the best seller in the Mercedes E-Class lineup. It's the E250 4MATIC. Well, what does all that mean? E250 is the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, the same one that's used in the GLK. It has loads of torque, 369 foot-pounds of torque, and you match that to the all-wheel drive system, what Mercedes calls 4MATIC. So hands down, in the Mercedes range of vehicles, if they have a diesel for sale in Canada and they have a regular gas version, the diesel is sold about 80% of the time. So you can bet that this will be the best-selling E-Class in Canada because of the very thrifty diesel engine. Well, the first thing that strikes you when you get in this E-Class convertible is what a beautiful interior. I love the two-tone seats, and I especially like all the buttons. Now sure, they have a center control knob to get into the navigation and the radio, but there's loads of redundant buttons here on the dash. You can just push a button and get the heated seats. You can push a button and go back and forth to the radio, the nav, even radio stations. So I like that about it. Now, you're not going to jump into this car and go, bam, right away. This is a performance convertible. No, this is a touring machine in a classic sense, a GT, and it does that beautifully. But this car also has a bit of a chameleon effect. You get different settings for the transmission. You can push them between manual for the paddle shifters, eco mode, or also sport, and then you have an adjustable chassis for comfort or sport. Now, when you get it in the full sport with the manual mode, it isn't, as I mentioned, the most aggressive car, but it's a nice balance, especially when you got the 550 model, a great growl from the engine. So this is a very comfortable car. And the next car I get into, I'm going to tell you all about semi-autonomous driving. This E-Class can drive and steer basically on its own. The 250 is the new 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine, and it is capable of a combined city and highway driving of 6.1 liters per 100 kilometers. And we've been driving here from Portland out to the Oregon coast and doing speeds anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour. And the average consumption we're getting is 5.3 liters per 100 kilometers. That is incredible driving. You got to know that this terrain, you're going up and down through the mountains, and it really is keeping up nicely. It's got 369 foot-pounds of torque, and it can make a run to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.9 seconds. So it's not a slouch. The torque is what you use from stoplight to stoplight when you're driving. And the starting price of the E250 with the diesel engine is just over $57,000. Now this new E-Class has a package for $2,700 where you get the advanced safety system, which includes Distronic Plus with active steering. So what does all of that mean? That's what I'm talking about with the semi-autonomous driving. There's 3 layers of radar cruise control built into this car, far, medium, and close. So when you're driving along, we're doing it here in the US, 50 miles per hour, the cruise control is set. If a car in front of me slows down, the vehicle will slow, and when it speeds up, it'll speed back up again. That's pretty common with active cruise control systems. But with the active steering, I'm coming up to a little bend in the road, the steering wheel actually turns itself, and it has 2 cameras behind the rearview mirror here in the top of the windshield. They're called stereo cameras, and they look at the lines down the road, and they keep you in the center of the lane, actively steering the car back and forth. This is fabulous for, say you want to get your sunglasses on, you can do that, and then you put your hands back on the steering wheel. All the while, the car is steering itself. Maybe you want to get a drink of water. The car will actively steer and then I can put the water back down. So that really is amazing technology. Now, when you have that at low speed city conditions, it creeps and crawls with the traffic, which is brilliant. At 0 up to 50 kilometers an hour, it uses the very slow speed radar. So you can drive along in city traffic with using either the gas or the brake, or even the steering wheel for that matter. So in stop and go city traffic, it's brilliant. And before I wrap up here today, I just want to say I'm thrilled that Mercedes-Benz continues to bring in the wagon version of the E-Class. A lot of people just look way past this vehicle, but if you want a true performance sedan family vehicle, this is really what you should be looking at. I've had a German station wagon and they are amazing. You get the handling of a car and you get the functionality. The trunk space, or the back cargo space in this, is bigger than most SUVs. But with this car, you also have the availability to get the E63 AMG with 570 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.7 seconds. And the great news is the AMG cars are now available with all-wheel drive. In the past, they were rear-wheel drive. So that's a quick look at the E-Class lineup. The E250 diesel is definitely going to be the best seller. The Cabriolet is a sweet-looking car and a fabulous touring machine, and this wagon could be one of the fastest family vehicles on the road.